All right. You ready?
I suppose.
Okay. Hello, everybody. It's GL Smith at Northwest Vintage Guitars, and we are here with Jim Turner, and it's 5 questions with Jim Turner. Before we get started, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and share the channel. Check us out at nwvintageguitars.com. Question number 1. Jim, what was your first guitar?
My very first guitar was a Crestwood 335 wannabe. And the thing had the typical first guitar action. It had flat wound strings that were probably, I don't know, 13 to 60. And yeah, I kept it for about 2 months.
And second question, why did you start playing guitar?
Interesting question. I'd been exposed to music from my sisters who were kids in the 50s. So I just loved all the music and I just wondered how they made those sounds. And I learned accordion back when I was about, maybe the 10 to 13 year range. This is after attending a parochial school, which had a lot of music involved in it. And you just can't pick up girls when you turn 14 with an accordion. So I just set music down and went on with my life until I was in my 20s, early 20s, and a friend brought over a guitar, a Crestwood 335 wannabe.
There you go.
A red one. Mine was a tobacco burst when I first got it. And he could barely play any Creedence song. I think we started with Who'll Stop the Rain, G, E minor, and it would be, he'd play a G chord, and then he'd find the E minor. And so we went on like that, and I said, that's really cool, can I try it? And he said, sure. And because I had some musical training, I picked up the G chord really easy, and G to E minor was really easy.
Yeah.
So next thing, I had a little bit better rhythm than him, and I was actually making music on this thing.
Yeah.
So I said, well, that's cool. I was kind of hooked already. And my friend Gordy, he says, why don't you just keep this for a while? Because you can play it already better. And I've had
so
it
you
for
ended
a
with
year.
2 Crestwoods.
No, I kept it. You asked me about my first guitar.
Okay.
And I loved his so much because it was probably set up and everything that I ran over to my local place that I was taking accordion lessons from years before. And lo and behold, he had a Crestwood 335 right on the wall. So I said, I want that one. Didn't know anything about, all that other stuff I told you. So I brought it home and it didn't work for me. But that's why I started playing. I still learned how to play guitar on that thing.
So when you first started playing guitar, who was your biggest influence? That's question number 3. Who was your biggest influence when learning how to play guitar?
Well, again, I was into music all the way through, so I liked a lot of the guitar people from the 50s, the Dwayne Eddy sound. I loved the surf sound. Didn't know who any of these people were. Knew who the Beatles were, and that guy who played that Chet Atkins guitar was really cool, and
so it was that 50s rock and roll sound.
50s rock and roll kind of got me hooked, and then through the 60s, I loved all of it. I grew up in Detroit, so there's a lot of Motown influence, a lot of stuff like that. So, but eventually it turned out to be Creedence and stuff like that that really
I can see that in your
rang
style.
my bell. Yeah,
Definitely. Okay, so what is the one guitar that got away? One guitar that used to be in your possession that no longer is that you wish was?
My very third guitar, which was a 1963 Stratocaster. A friend brought it over. He probably stole it from someplace because he was a bit of a shady person. But he said it was his cousin's and his cousin needed some money. So I gave him $225 for it. This had to be 1973. And it was a premium instrument and I just loved it. But I play kind of heavy and I played it for maybe 2 or 3 years and wore the frets down to nubs. And I needed a mixer for my TAC multi-sync.
Sold it to raise money.
I sold it for $400, made money on it.
Oh, heck, probably felt good about it.
Yep. And
made out like a bandit.
But now I have a TAC mixer that lives in the garage, never sees the light of day. And
the 63 Strat would come in handy.
yeah,
Right now. Okay.
I cry a lot.
The desert island. Stuck on a desert island, what would be your choice? Any guitar, any amp you want, what would they be?
It would be an acoustic guitar, and it would be my Martin HD28, 1992.
That's a beauty.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been 5 questions with Jim Turner. Be sure to check out the website, nwvintageguitars.com. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe the series. Check out other interviews in the 5 questions series. People like, I'll draw a blank now, Pat O'Donnell and Parker Lundgren, and some local musicians like Scott McPhee at McPhee Guitars. Always a classic. But for now, we'll see you later. See ya.